Hello, I'm Tansy of Tansy in the Wild. I know I'm wearing a hat indoors. It's really cold outside and I'm trying not to put the heating on. Anyway, I wanted to really quickly share with you a little bit about vision boards and why I hold a vision board workshop every year, every January. And my puppy's here as well. I'm hoping that she'll not make too much noise. So yeah, every January I hold a vision board workshop, manifestation day retreat. And people might think, well, why do you do vision boards? I thought you were all into forest bathing in the outdoors, which I absolutely am. But in all honesty, I've been doing vision boards for years now because initially when I started my business, I first trained to become a life coach. And so during that time, I learned how to do vision boards. But over time, I've kind of honed it into my own way of doing it and my own sort of style. And first and foremost, for me, I believe that before you attempt to create a vision board or a manifestation board, you need to do something that gets you connected to your body, that gets you feeling grounded and allows you to kind of clear your head. And for me, that has to be getting outside in nature, to go for a slow, mindful walk. We often talk about the term, what is your true nature? And there's a clue in that. There's a word nature in there. So I really believe that when you get out in nature, you can reconnect back to yourself, especially if you are spending mindful time in nature, because you're present, you're grounded, you're connected. And when you go through that process, suddenly you're able to hear your heart's whispers and your intuition calling to you. It kind of bubbles up a little bit more without all of the distraction and noise from human world or urban spaces. You get to tune in a little bit more to yourself. So yes, we go out first in the morning, all right pups, and have a lovely forest bathing session. And I start to kind of weave in a few reflective questions during that time, getting you thinking about the year that's passed and the year that's coming, getting you thinking about who you are and what's important to you. Then we come inside and we do a little bit more coaching, because one of the things I think, well, from my personal perspective, one of the big mistakes I think people can make when they make vision boards is that they can become too prescriptive, too controlling. They think in their minds, well, yeah, I want X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to go for that, and that's what I want, so that's what I'm going for. And of course, we all have specific goals in life, and that's wonderful that we're working towards. But if we're creating a whole vision board, which is just like, it's got to be that, and I'm going to get the exact picture I want and put it on there. We are perhaps kind of closing ourselves a bit. We're creating a very linear and controlled path. And actually what we might be doing is cutting ourselves off from all this wonderful potential that is out there that may actually just need to come and find us if we are fully aligned and fully sort of standing in an authentic place and understanding who we are. So that's why I go through this process of like, who are you? What's important to you? What lights you up? What feels like an abundant life for you that you wouldn't think, make you think, this is a good life. This is a life that's full of joy, that is, one that I can fully appreciate, not just that is like the big success or like bags of money, because we all know that money does not always equal happiness. So it's a much more, I guess, life affirming board, visionary in terms of your whole life, and being intuitive about it rather than being prescriptive. So I've got here as well, I'm rushing just because I hate long video content, so I just want to really like get the bare bones of it for you. But I wanted to show you a couple of my vision boards that I've created and just give you a few examples of things that have manifested for me in the process and the way that I've created a vision board. So going back to one of the very first vision boards I made, see here, different designs I try and do, but this picture in particular, it spoke to me because I would love any kind of cabin in the woods and working in the woods. And well, first of all, when we moved into this house, didn't realize it, and it wasn't like a prerequisite for the house, but it had a garden studio, so we've got the studio. And then I was really fortunate to work with Wellness in the Wood with Anita, and she had a beautiful cabin in the wood that we worked out of. And I also work for The Nest with Moya and all the other women, where we deliver these amazing solo retreats out of a beautiful shepherd hut. So that is amazing. This one is a bit more kind of like goosebump actually. No, I didn't want to be a pole dancer, but that was much more about being sassy and being a bit more seen. And this one here was, yeah, about kind of using my voice, being braver and speaking out. And that same year that I put that on there, I got a call from Wellbeing Radio to ask me if I'd like to be a presenter on their show. I had my own podcast show on there, and they said, you just need to go out and buy a microphone. And it was like, oh my goodness, like goosebump, serious goosebump moment. And then another one just quickly was, this is one I did with my family, because it's a really lovely thing to do with your family as well, to cut pictures out with them and stick them on. This one here, you can see it very well, it's not very clear, it's a bit ruffled, but it's a lovely picture of a lady punting down the river. I just really loved it. I just loved the image and how it made me feel when I looked at her. And then that year, my husband was a Cub Scout leader, and they paid for him to go on a paddleboarding course, and he loved it so much he immediately went out and bought a paddleboard, and now we go on loads of family paddleboarding trips. And then this up here, we put this on, had no idea where the location of it, but wanted, you know, thinking about a family beach holiday together. And this year I was invited to forest bathe in Greece at Skiros Holidays, and when I got there, I'm not joking, it almost looked exactly the same as this image. And it meant that I got to work internationally, but also that we had a family holiday, because we stayed on afterwards and had this amazing family holiday together in Greece. And when I looked back at that picture, I was like, oh my goodness, like incredible. So that is what I mean by kind of being open to, you know, like being drawn to images and thinking about your life as a whole, not just like, what does it mean to be successful? So kind of allowing yourself to think more about, what does abundance mean to you? What does joy mean to you? And seeing then, and having sort of trust, I guess, in thinking that if you're fully aligned with who you are and what's important to you, what you value in life, then you can actually then set your intentions for that, and then be open to see what comes your way. So I wanted to keep it shorter, but I hope that's given you an overview. And every January I hold a fantastic day retreat where you get out into nature to feel grounded. And there's coaching, there's a meditation, there's a gorgeous lunch, and then we spend the afternoon having a great creative time making a vision board. And then you get to take that home, and that becomes a beautiful beacon for you, a kind of a guiding light to see you through your year ahead and see what magic comes to you. I love when my clients message me afterwards and say, you will not believe what has happened, and it links to their vision board. So yes, the link will be there to book. If you want some more information, come and join us. It's an absolutely beautiful day.